Welcome to MyLITV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we have traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. MyLITV starts now. Aside from having galleries full of fantastic art, the Nassau County Museum of Art also has a sculpture park on its 145-acre nature preserve. The works are sited on the grounds so that art enhances nature and nature enhances the art. And it is one of the largest publicly accessible sculpture gardens in the Northeast.
We have 35 sculptures on the property, and they range from 1913 all the way through 2005. Today we actually explored the work of Serra, who is a minimalist artist. The work is situated on our property. It's actually site-specific, and it is a permanent piece.
We are looking at a three-dimensional form. Sculptures are meant to be experienced in the round. Let's go around in a circle.
Manolo Valdez, he is an artist from Spain. His work is called Regina, and it's actually inspired by a work by the French artist Henri Matisse. And it's a very large-scale head with a very weird hat on top. So that is a really exciting work, because when you look at it, you don't quite know what you're looking at. So it's a great experience for people to explore from different angles. These series of 16 very large-scale, architectural scale, in the sense that you can actually move through them, are situated in a line, almost like dominoes. They pivot, and at one point, the very final piece rests at a 45-degree angle to the original, the first piece. What's wonderful is that people can interact with the work, and actually some of our participants today had the experience of walking through them. And it was really exciting because as a result of the pivot, people actually disappear into space, which is a little bit creepy. Like, people were, interesting, because it's almost like you're going through a maze. The artist Bruno Lucchesi is an artist from Italy, and we really love this work because even though it's a very static piece of bronze, it actually has the gesture of a woman riding a bicycle, and she's looking, kind of turning her head away, and one of our participants in the tour today actually thought she was stopping, riding her bike, looking for someone that she was supposed to meet up with that was late. But then another person had the interpretation that she was waiting to cross the street, and she was waiting to see if the coast was clear. So it's really exciting for me to see that people have different interpretations, different perspectives on looking at works of art. Alejandro Colunga is an artist from Mexico, and he, probably out of many of the artists, is very much interested in the story that his works tell. He's aligned with the surrealist artists, who are artists that you can recognize some of the imagery, some of the sculpture, but they also come from a very fantastical place. The artist actually invites visitors to touch his work and to engage in the work in a very comfortable way. He wants us to use a sense of touch. Next to that is this kind of looks like a ladder with turtles that are kind of flipped backwards looking at us. Very kind of, a little bit kind of maybe nightmarish in a sense, but also kind of a fantasy. And they're kind of climbing this ladder, which also kind of looks like a stool. So the artist is kind of challenging us to make us think about this fantasy. We don't come away with all the answers, but it makes us consider some of the different inspirations that artists use for their work. So Tom Otterness, he did this wonderful piece. It's actually one of 3 that we have here. It's called Free Money and Other Fairy Tales. It's 2 very round figures made out of bronze sitting on a very full bag of money. And we know it's a bag of money because there's a dollar sign kind of carved into the bronze. And they look quite happy. They're dancing, they're smiling. And we know that, though we don't have the 3rd piece in the series on our property, it's actually an empty bag of money. So it's interesting to see what the next step would be. So these people are very joyful, and it's all about the relationship of man and riches and money. The sculptures allow a different experience of looking at art. Participants can actually walk up to it, they can touch it, they can think about the textures and thinking about the scale. Some pieces are quite large, and you have to kind of physically change your body to experience it.
So the next time you need to stretch your legs, take a walk that will stimulate your creativity at the Nassau County Museum of Art.